Hello and welcome to Catching Up with Carter here on Saddleback College Radio, 88.5 HD2, and I'm joined by Giovanni Daniels here in the studio again. It's always a pleasure when he is here. How you doing today, Gio?
Dude, thank you for having me. I'm doing good.
Great. That's awesome. You have a good weekend?
I was doing overnight water polo shoots for the whole weekend, so it was pretty tiring, but it's all right.
Same on this side too. So long weekends for us, but it's been fun in the sports world. We're going to be talking about the NFL draft that happened this weekend. We're going to talk about Shedeur Sanders. Then we're going to go into the NBA playoffs. Tons of games to talk about there. And then we're going to go into some MLB news. We listened to Loyalty here at the beginning of the show. The music today is curated by Giovanni Daniels, who's here in the studio. We are going to be back after a 1-minute break, and then we're going to start our segment about Shedeur Sanders and a prank call that happened to him during the draft. Hello and welcome back to Catching Up with Carter here on Saddleback College Radio, 88.5 HD2. Plan on flying? It's time to upgrade to a real ID. In order to board domestic flights, your driver's license or state-issued ID must be a real ID, or you'll need another acceptable form of identification. So don't wait. Find out how to get your real ID at tsa.gov/real ID. That's tsa.gov/real ID. Or visit your local DMV, and then you'll be cleared for takeoff. I actually just got an email from Real ID. I need to actually get that updated myself. I don't know, Gio, do you have a new Real ID yet?
I've had one since I had my driver's license like 5 years ago or 4 years ago.
I think you need to like re-update it. That's what
I do?
I think that, yes. So, hey, this PSA was for
Yes.
you. Yes, it was for you. Today, we are going to be talking about the NFL draft, NBA playoffs, and then as well some MLB news. We're going to start off with the biggest storyline that's going around everywhere right now is the NFL draft. We're going to start off with Shedeur Sanders. He drops far in the draft. In a shocking turn, Shedeur Sanders fell to the 5th round of the 2025 NFL draft. The Cleveland Browns traded their 166th pick and 192nd picks to the Seattle Seahawks to move up and select the Colorado quarterback with the 144th overall pick on Saturday. Once projected as a first-round prospect, Sanders' slide to day 3 stunned many. His lack of elite traits contributed to teams passing on him after day 1. However, his fall out of day 2 raised deeper concerns. Reports indicated that his pre-draft process, particularly his interviews, did not go well. So I have the question, should Shedeur Sanders have stayed another year in college and maybe, upped it up with Dion for one more year? Gio, do you have some thoughts on that?
I mean, I thought he was pretty hot already, he was already popular. He had, played pretty well with Colorado. But it just sounds like he kind of messed up when in the interview process. So I think another year in college could have been beneficial, but what year was he? Was he a sophomore? Or?
Well, he was a junior, so he would have been playing his senior year because he played 2 years Jackson State, jumped up all the way over to Colorado when his dad jumped to coach over for the Buffaloes. So it's different. For me, I think maybe one more year would have helped him, but at the same time, if you're already being told by prospects, hey, you're going to be the 3rd, 4th overall pick, go to the draft. That's what I was thinking. And then when he fell so far, I was shocked because we were working this weekend. I saw it on my phone. Shedeur Sanders hasn't been picked up in the 1st round. I was so shocked. And then the 2nd round went by, no pick. 3rd round finally came around, and then he got picked. I was like, how is this day 3 and Shedeur's not picked up? And the Browns they picked up Dylan Gabriel earlier too, which is a QB that wasn't even supposed to be picked up until later in the draft after Shedeur, and Shedeur was picked up after him for the same team. The Browns have 5 quarterbacks on their roster. I don't know what they're doing.
That QB room is going to be crazy.
That QB room is insane. But I'm still going to say, if Shedeur Sanders ends up being a good pickup, if he's good for the Browns, this is going to be the craziest slide of all time. The craziest slide of all time. That's just what I'm going to say. And as well, talking about before the show, he was partying last night. Does that remind you of anybody? Do you remember a quarterback who also had this for the Browns?
Johnny.
Was it Johnny? Johnny Manziel?
Johnny Football.
Johnny Football. So, okay, joking from that. But I don't think he's going to be a Johnny Football. I think he'll do okay. We'll see what happens. This quarterback, fight will be kind of crazy. 5 quarterbacks on the roster. Deshaun Watson's still there. Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders. Gonna be crazy. There's one more. To be honest, he's slipping my mind at this moment in time. There's so many of them. I can't even think about it. But I got one more question here. Is this all because of primetime Deion Sanders? Do we think maybe this could be because of the hype that Deion created?
I mean, if Deion is actually a good coach, I definitely see why teams would want to draft his son, so Deion could be more enticed to be a coach of theirs. But honestly, I'm not sure.
I mean, it's tough because for me, I feel like primetime, Deion, it's helping him with his draft process, but both his kids didn't get drafted really early at all.
Yeah.
Shedeur fell. Shiloh Sanders, his other son, plays cornerback. He got picked up after the draft. He was signed after to, I believe, the Buccaneers that he was signed to. So kind of crazy, Shedeur dropping so far. But we talked about before the show, he actually had a prank call that happened during the draft process. And I wanted to listen to the call before we go dive deep into it. Let's go and listen to it and listen to this coverage. It's by ABC 7. We're going to listen to it right here.
This morning, the NFL investigating this prank call to draft hopeful Shedeur Sanders, son of NFL legend Deion Sanders, picking up the phone Friday, thinking it was a coach inviting him to join the team.
This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Good, been waiting on you.
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man.
No, for sure.
We're going to take you with our next pick right here, man.
Yes, sir, let's be legendary.
Yeah, but you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, man.
The caller abruptly hanging up.
What does that mean? You heard that?
You said you're going to have to wait a little bit longer.
Nobody got that number but coaches, strictly for that reason.
But it wasn't a coach or anyone from an NFL team.
This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
Instead, it was these young men seen in this video circulating on social media, impersonating New Orleans Saints general manager Mickey Loomis.
We're going to take you with our next pick right here, man.
Yes, sir, let's be legendary.
Yeah, but you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, man.
So looking at that video, it was actually Jeff Ulbrich. His son was the one who made the call from the New Orleans Saints. So the defensive coordinator, his kid, got the contact somehow, made the call to Shedeur, said you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, which is pretty funny. I'm going to be honest, watching it back, but I don't know. This is one of those things that it's funny, but at the same time, if you think about it from Shedeur's side, right, he's worked so hard to get here, and then he's just getting this prank call from a guy you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. If you're in his shoes, what are you thinking, Gio, with this?
I mean, at the end of the day, he got drafted, all is right in the world, and honestly, I think it's just a harmless prank. But I think it's pretty crazy that kid was able to get his number. I definitely don't think anybody should be getting access to Shedeur Sanders' number if they don't know him personally or business wise. But I don't know. I know calls are bad quality, but it wasn't that difficult to tell that was a 21-year-old.
Yeah, it was really funny. It is funny that okay, he did not sound.
And he was putting on a
Mickey
deep
Loomis.
voice too. He's hey, this is from the Saints. We're here to pick you.
Well, at the same time, you got to think about the emotions there, because if I'm an NFL prospect, right, and I'm getting picked up, I'm gonna have that little bit of emotions there and continue to not just always think this is gonna be a real thing, because maybe at the same time think about it, because I don't know what Shedeur saw on the other side. Even in the video you couldn't see it, so the number's just a number. There's nothing, most of the numbers that come in, it doesn't have a thing on it. There's even Baker Mayfield, when he got drafted, his friend called from behind him and prank called him during the draft, and he's like, dude, why are you calling me? I'm waiting. Obviously he's waiting on a call from a team.
I'd be so pissed.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. It seems obviously complete fun if you think about it from behind the scenes, but at the same time, if you're in it, this is completely disrespectful. And for me, if I was Shedeur, I would feel completely disrespected. It's a tough look also for Jeff Ulbrich. We talked about it as well. Like you said, he's putting his dad's job in jeopardy as well.
Yeah.
So his dad, Ulbrich, I'm still struggling with the name, Jeff Ulbrich. My apologies there. Tough name. But Jeff himself, he's been put into a tough position because the team isn't even going to really take action, which makes sense because it's his kid who made this happen. But a lot of people are calling for it.
21-year-old kid.
His 21-year-old, kid. He's an adult at this point, adult. Right? But, he took the phone Yeah, it's a horrible prank in my opinion. Should the Falcons organization address the actions of Jeff Ulbricht's son publicly? Should they immediately, like, obviously this has gone world news, right? But should they, like, reprimand him in any way? I don't know how they could, but do you think that there should be some repercussions to this?
Look, man, it was funny. If it happens just once, I think it's fine. But if it keeps happening, then they definitely need to do something about it. And they probably should just do something about it now, just so it doesn't ever happen again. But personally, I don't think the defensive coordinator should lose his job or anything by this, because it is a harmless prank, in my opinion.
I don't think the coach should be reprimanded in any way, because it's not. Again, he's 21. He's an adult. I'm turning 20 tomorrow, right? Like.
Happy early birthday, by the way.
Thank you about that. Actually, at the time of we're recording this show
Happy
early.
birthday.
It's my birthday. Actually, today, if you're listening
You're
today,
going to be cashing out tonight.
cashing out.
Yes.
But we were recording early today here on Monday. So if any of the news changes, of course, Tuesday is when this show airs. But catching up with Carter, we're here. We're of course going to still have a show on my birthday. But I'm 20, right? I'm an adult. If I make this call, it's on me, right? I'm an adult in this situation. So I don't think the defensive coordinator should have any repercussions, but I do think, the Falcons need to make a change. Like any organization, they need to make these phone numbers like very hard to
For
get.
sure,
right?
yeah, I agree.
There needs to be something there that there's no way that anybody but the staff that's in like the draft room can have it. There's no way that someone can just be at home calling, because he wasn't even close to the draft room. He's in his room.
Yeah, and I mean, Shador even thought that like it was, because like that number, he said like it was only for coaches and like scouts.
Yeah, so unless like maybe his son took his dad's phone, I don't know what happened. Like, I'm going to be honest, there's not enough news yet out right now. We don't know. There's going to be most likely an investigation into which phone
That's crazy.
was the one that made the call, but we do not know at this moment. Now we're going to go into the NBA playoffs. Just a little bit of news on the NFL. Want to talk about that. That became world news all over the place. But the NBA playoffs, it's heating up right now. And I want to first talk about the Los Angeles Lakers and their struggles. They're down 3-1 against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they took a commanding 3-1 series lead over the Lakers on Sunday. They had to win 116-113. Edwards had a game-high 43 points, hitting 2 clutch free throws with 10 seconds left to seal the victory. LeBron James, he struggled for the Lakers with turnovers, giving up 19 points off of 12 turnovers while only forcing 5 points off Minnesota's 9 turnovers. This series now shifts back to Los Angeles tomorrow in a must-win Game 5 on Wednesday. Anthony Edwards isn't just beating the Lakers, he's taking the NBA from LeBron in real time. Are the Lakers officially done after falling down 3-1, or is LeBron making a comeback, Gio?
Look, man, LeBron's come back from 3-1 before.
Again, we said this last year with Denver. It's not going to happen again.
But I don't believe. Okay,
You
I'm
don't
sorry.
believe,
Because they kept their starting 5 out for the whole second half, and you could clearly see in the fourth quarter that they were too tired, and the lack of depth just is hurting. And they only lost by 3.
3 points.
If they had just a little bit of depth, if that trade went through, who was that again? I forget who that was.
You mean the center was it for the center for the Kings at the time? We don't know his name. We talked about it like 4 or 5 shows ago. But if that went through, that would have been something.
Right. I think that would have been the difference in this game specifically, and maybe even the series.
Yeah.
But since they have the lack of depth, it's just difficult for them to, stay consistent and not turn over the ball so much, because, I mean, if you're tired, you're going to just turn it over more. So.
Yeah, it's tough for the Lakers, right? LeBron, he's come back from 3-1, but it's not going to happen this time. I'm going to be very honest with you.
No, I don't really believe.
You don't believe
I want
this
to, though.
time.
I'm, as the comments have said, I am a D1 LeBron Glazer, so I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, as well, though, J.J. Redick, he talked about that starting 5 type of rotation. He said keeping those 5 in for too long was the problem. And I don't know if they'll change anything up for a game. Was it Game 5? Sorry, Game 5 on Wednesday. I apologize for that. But yeah, Game 5 for the Lakers. Now it doesn't look like it's Lakers in 5. It looks like Timberwolves in 5.
Because it can't be Lakers in 5.
It can't be Lakers in 5 anymore. Lakers in 7. That's it.
Well, Lakers in 7 then.
Lakers in 7. Can LeBron still carry a team to the playoffs anymore? It doesn't look like it can anymore, right? Like LeBron James is getting to the age where he cannot do it anymore by himself. Is there even a chance next year? Like, is this it? I feel like this might be it for LeBron.
Like, for his career?
Not for his career, but in the sense of him being able to bring teams to the playoffs, like, on his back, it can't happen anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, he is 40 years old. Like, we can't really expect this guy to, year after year, like, when he's in retirement age,
Again,
to just
yes.
carry a team. But, like, I don't know. It is a little sad to see him, like, you know, lose his God-given power. But I'm sorry. I love LeBron. He's divine. You know what I mean?
Divine.
Okay.
Bro, he's not the savior, bro. Like,
You're right. That's what did Kendrick say?
no, I don't even know. But Luka Doncic, right, is going to be the new guy for this team. The Lakers are going to have to build behind him. My bet is this coming draft will be a lot of bigs. That's really what they're going to have to look for. Maybe a trade. We're also going to be talking about Giannis coming up. Maybe the Lakers make a move for Giannis after LeBron makes a move away from the Lakers. I don't know what's going to happen,
curious
but
if he's
we'll look
gonna.
into that.
Yeah, I'm curious if he's gonna like leave Bronny on the Lakers.
That'd be kind of weird if he. I don't think he's going
Right.
to leave.
You
but
think
what
he's
I
just
mean,
gonna straight up retire?
I think not this year, but I think next year could be it. Like, if he doesn't make a good run next year, I think he's like, all right, I'm going to call it. Like, 41. But again, we've seen, there was a guy who made the tweet at, what was it, LeBron at 30 years old. LeBron can't keep doing this at 30 years old. And then he made another post. LeBron can't keep doing this at 40 years old. And they made a reply. LeBron's going to keep doing this till he's 50 years, like, you know, just continuing to do what he does best. Like, he was, 24.4 points per game this year? Again, you can't deny his success.
Yeah.
But LeBron is getting to an age, right? Every player goes through this. He's old. He's getting to the point where he cannot play at a high enough level. He showed this year, right? He cannot play playoff basketball in the sense that he can't play the whole game.
Yeah, not
Like,
the
he
whole
can't.
game.
And that's what J.J. Redick found out harshly against the Timberwolves here. The turnovers were the part of the game. And Anthony Edwards, man, that guy is insane. Anthony Edwards with 43 points on this matchup. And I'm going to ask the question, Anthony Edwards, top 5? Top 5 in the league?
Dude, I mean, maybe. I mean,
I think he's in my top 5. Like, if we're putting in a top 5 list, he's definitely in my top 5. You know, you can put LeBron, you can put Curry, whatever, Luka. I think Anthony Edwards is to his team like a top 5 player.
like right now,
Like
or
right
even
now.
all time.
Right now. Top 5 player.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really disagree with that.
No.
He's playing really well.
He is. Anthony Edwards is one of those guys that, you know, totally changes the game. He's such an athletic talent. And I think he might be, we were talking about it, my roommates and I, he might be the face of the league. To be honest. at
Doesn't
some
he
point.
not want to be like the face of the league though? Like, didn't he say that?
I know, I think he did say it, but again, you never really get to decide if you're the face of the league. The
True.
NBA decides this. So
True.
I think Anthony Edwards could be the face of the league. We'll see what happens there. But it's been crazy. The Lakers down 3-1. We'll see what happens Wednesday. It will be exciting. We're going to take a 1-minute break, and we'll be back with more NBA playoff action. We talked about Shedeur Sanders, and then we talked about the Lakers. Next, we are going to be talking about Damian Lillard. He was injured in this last game. He had a torn Achilles, so we'll be back with that info. Hello and welcome back to Catching Up with Carter here on Saddleback College Radio, 88.5 HD2. My name's Carter Kirchhevel. I'm joined by Giovanni Daniels here in the studio today. We just talked about the Lakers' struggles against the Timberwolves. They have a game tomorrow. We'll talk about that in the coming weeks. Of course, most likely the Lakers are going to be eliminated. They're down 3-1, but of course, LeBron. We don't know what's going to happen because LeBron has made a 3-1 comeback in the past, but that was in the finals against the Warriors. Had to bring up the Warriors again. My apologies, everybody. Last show we talked about the Warriors every
Welcome
single
to Catching Up with Carter.
Catching up with the Warriors. That's what everyone calls us. Now let's go into Damian Lillard. He had an injury, and he has a torn Achilles. It was confirmed today. Milwaukee Bucks star Damian Lillard has suffered a torn Achilles during Game 4 against the Indiana Pacers, per NBA insider Chris Haynes. Lillard went down midway through the first quarter, and Milwaukee went on to lose 129-103, so a crushing loss. And they fall 3-1, now down to the Pacers. Bucks coach Doc Rivers confirmed Lillard will have an MRI today, which happened, and then ended up that it's confirmed, right? Torn Achilles for him. The series just back to Indiana, so back home for the Pacers on Tuesday. So that game will be happening during this show. Are the Bucks' title hopes dead now? Is there no chance with Lillard, Giannis? Is there any chance for the Bucks?
This year?
Not this year, but I mean for the future coming up.
They definitely need to add pieces now because as far as Damian Lillard goes, he's not going to be playing for the Bucks for a hot minute.
A long time.
They definitely need to make some moves in order to be competitive.
If you're the Bucks, do you start rebuilding around Giannis? Or do you look to trade away Giannis and build around something else?
How old is Giannis?
Giannis, I'll look it up here. He's in his 30s, I'm pretty sure.
In his
up
30s?
Up to his 30, I think. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but Giannis Antetokounmpo. Let's see with Google. Let's see his age. My apologies here, but
I mean, he's still like a top 5
he's
player,
30.
right?
He's 30.
He's 30.
He's 30.
And he's still like a top 5 player in
He's
the
up
league?
there. He's up there. I'd say he's a great defensive talent. He's probably top 5.
I mean,
He's up there with Anthony Edwards.
I don't see why not. You know, like he got you a title, so I mean, I definitely think the man, you know, belongs in Milwaukee. I think he likes it there, and you know, I definitely think he's not a bad person to build around. You know, they could definitely do it again.
That's true. But we did think about, right, Damian Lillard. He was a guy we thought, okay, he's always going to be in Portland, right? And then he requested a trade, and now he's a Buck. So looking at it from me, I think Giannis could be the next player to request a trade. Like that's just looking at it right here, right? If they don't add pieces, they don't pay Giannis what he wants, he'll just leave.
Yeah.
And if he leaves, the Lakers, hands up.
Lakers.
Like, that'd be kind of crazy.
Lakers and Luka with Giannis.
Lakers would have LeBron, Luka, and Giannis. Think about it. Super team. This is just my team in 2K at this point.
Man, we are spoiled to live so close to the Lakers. I'm going to be so happy. I'm going to be watching them.
That would be crazy as well. The Warriors have also been in talks for Giannis. It's been like 3 years that there's been rumors about Giannis going to the Warriors because the Warriors have never had a good big man ever in their entire time of being a team, really. Until, of course, Wilt Chamberlain, but that was so long ago. I really don't even really count it. I guess Draymond Green's okay. Not really a big either. Again, we just never have really had a big man at center. If Giannis goes to the Warriors, that's also would be crazy.
See, but like, we got to stop giving all these popular teams like the Warriors and Lakers these.
That's what the NBA wants, though.
Yeah,
I mean, you gotta
but
think
like,
about that.
I'm rooting for Milwaukee fans to keep Giannis.
He needs to stay a Buck. I mean, if I'm looking at it from the Bucks' perspective, yes, you keep Giannis. There's no way you want to get rid of Giannis. But if Giannis requests a trade, I don't know if you're going to be able to keep him on the floor. I mean, if he just wants to be out, if Dame's out for probably half the year next year, most likely. I don't know his time because obviously it just happened, but
big changes have to be made.
Big changes do have to be made. The draft is definitely going to be the portion where we'll see what the Bucks do, if they make some trades maybe during the draft or if they make some trades later in the season, maybe before that trade deadline. There's also been talks about Kevin Durant moving teams, so tons of trades coming up. We'll talk about all those trades if they're confirmed here on Catching Up with Carter. We go through all of your sports news.
You know, I like how the NBA's like landscape feels like it always changes every year. Like players just move to different teams so quickly, I feel like.
I feel like the NBA and the NFL are really like that.
Yeah.
They jump around a lot, and to be honest, I'm not a fan of it. I like when players stick with a team and they're like, I'm going to win with this team. And that's what I love about Curry, okay? Of course, we're going to talk about the Warriors for 2 seconds again.
All right, you had to bring him back.
I had to bring it back. But again, think about it. The Warriors, he's been with them for his entire career and has won 4 rings with them. Like, that's impressive.
That's like the dream, I feel. That's what Mike Trout wanted to do with the Angels, but
it's just sad. That guy has had so many injuries, and that's been the cause of him not being the greatest player, as you told me over message.
Yeah.
Hey, it's how it goes when it comes to the NBA, MLB, and NFL. We've seen a lot of changes. And life. And life. Now let's go into a team that we've been talking about for the past few weeks, and it's Shea Gillis. No, not the Warriors. We're going to talk about OKC. OKC. Okay, the Thunder we've been talking about for a few weeks, and it's been craziness all over the place because, you know, we thought that they were going to be eliminated right away, and it looks like they just absolutely destroyed the Grizzlies. They swept them 4-0. Now, I want to play a clip. Okay, we watched this clip before the show, and there is a new ad with Jurassic World Rebirth. It's a new movie that's coming out this summer, coming out during the time when the Superman is coming out, and as well Fantastic Four. But they made an ad called the Gilzosaurus. Okay.
Wait, like an advertisement? That was an advertisement?
It's an advertisement, yes. It's an advertisement that's playing during the NBA playoffs, and it has Shea as a dinosaur. So we're going to listen to it here. If you want to see the video with the audio, come and check it out on Carter Kirchhevel, the page on YouTube, where we post all of Catching Up with Carter every single week. Like and subscribe.
And comment.
Let's watch this or also listen to it here on the radio.
Nobody else seems to know about it. That's it, right there.
The Gilzosaurus.
Oh my God.
So the video just has like Shea stand like a big giant version of Shea dribbling through dinosaurs. It's kind of crazy.
Crazy?
It's wild.
Dude.
And then he goes, he just says run in it. And that's it. That's the entire clip. It's a 30-second advertisement. So I don't know if you have any thoughts on this at all, Gio.
Carter,
but
I'm
it's kinda
glad
wild.
you like it, but
It's funny.
all of his aura, poof.
His aura went away when he did the AT&T ads when he was like, "What a pro wants," and he was singing.
I didn't see that, but I mean, honestly, if he's doing these commercials and he's chasing the bag, you know, I gotta respect that.
Hey, always gotta chase the bag when you're an NBA star when you already have $30 million, right?
Okay.
Gotta chase more money.
You're right. You're right.
That's how it
You're
goes. But let's go into OKC and their success. They won Game 4, 117-115. It was close in this one, but Shea, he had 38 points on 13 of 24 shooting to close out the series. Coach for the Thunders praised Shea's performance, saying, "I didn't think he played any different. He just got into a groove." So he's finally getting that playoff kind of Shea, I guess you could say, right? That aura that Shea has is finally showing up in the playoffs. What do you mean had? He has
that
aura.
ad, bro, ruined it. Okay.
He has aura still.
Okay, maybe do you?
Even though I don't love Shea, but I still think he's still a great player on the floor. I just think the fouls are still there. But moving away from that, I could go into a whole rant about how Shea draws fouls too much. But moving over, okay? Did the Thunder sweep say more about OKC's greatness or more about how bad the Grizzlies are?
I mean, yeah, I definitely think there was definitely a giant gap in that series of like skill. So, but I think this series is more of just like a warm up for OKC, you know?
I think so too. It's a good series for the Thunder to have to start, right? They needed this to get the momentum going. They had nothing really at the last playoffs against Luka and the Mavericks at that time. So it's good to have this momentum on their side. Dallas is definitely like a team that beat them last year, and now OKC finally has some momentum in the playoffs for once, finally. They were young last year. They're still young now, but the Thunder, I don't know if they can still make a deep playoff run. It's tough because their next matchup is either the Nuggets or the Clippers, and they've both been playing amazing.
Yeah, the Clippers, when we watched them, they looked really good. Really solid on the floor.
Well, we're also going to talk about that game coming up, that crazy buzzer beater from Aaron Gordon and how it tied the series up 2-2. It's kind of crazy. We went to the one blowout game.
Yeah, I'm kind of I'm pissed about that. Like, I want a refund. Even though it was only $40, I want a refund.
Hey, it was a cheap playoff game, and I got to check that off my bucket list.
Shout out
I was very
Clippers.
happy, Gio, for inviting me to that, so I appreciate you, Gio. Also, I want to have one more question. Would a Thunder's final run make Shea the face of the NBA? We talked about, face of the NBA for Anthony Edwards. If he can make a finals run, win the finals with a young team for OKC, is he the face of this NBA for the next generation?
I feel like to be the face of the NBA, you got to win a lot. I mean, it took, I don't know. LeBron was the face of the NBA when he was with the Heat, right? I feel like in my head, at least, that's when I started like noticing him. Mm-hmm. Steph Curry started becoming the GOAT when he won like back-to-back rings.
Yep.
And I don't know. I feel like just one chip and to call yourself the face of the NBA is a little crazy, Like you got to do a lot more to be the face of a league.
It is wild, but again, Shea's got aura, and that's what all the kids talk about, and that's all they talk about.
Okay, but I mean, you gotta like back that up,
If he wins the finals, I'm pretty sure, in my opinion, I think LeBron, once he won his first ring with the Heat, he was the face. Like that. That was basically what happened.
Look, man, I'll give him 2 rings.
Okay,
all right?
2 rings.
His second ring, maybe we'll talk.
You know
about
what?
it.
You know what? You're right. You know what? Let's make it 2 rings. Now let's jump over to the Nuggets Clippers series because this series has been crazy. The game will be happening a few hours after this show airs, the 5th game in the series. Of course, this game will not be a Game 5 series for either of these teams to win because it's tied 2-2. Is this the most exciting series going on right now?
I definitely think so. I mean, even though the game we saw was a blowout and I was disappointed, the other 3 have been so interesting and close.
Close games.
Yes, so definitely tune in,
Yes, tune into those games. Now, this last game, it was a dramatic Game 4 out at Intuit Dome. Of course, we said we were going to go to Game 4. What happened, Gio?
I didn't say we're going to go to Game 4. I said we're going to go to the round 2 games. Okay, if it happens.
Okay,
I will let you know. I'll invite you. I'll invite listeners too. We can do calls or something. You know,
do some call-ins.
Call in.
We'll do a signing at one of the games. You want to do a little signing, Gio?
Yeah, Carter Kirchhevel meet and greet.
No, Giovanni Daniels too.
No. You're more famous.
Okay, let's jump back here. After surrendering a 22-point lead, the Nuggets found themselves tied in the final seconds. Nikola Jokic launched a deep three-pointer that missed, which is, kind of crazy that he missed that. But Gordon jumped up. Aaron Gordon dunked it. The time ticked out. At first they said, no, it didn't count, right? It was still tied. They were like, this is going to overtime. But they replayed it, and he had let go of the ball. He had no hands on it while it was still going in. So it still counted, and it counted for the win. So they had to replay the whole thing. And there was even a lot of people talking about, like, if the replay system was, like, still old, because they have, like, a new, like, over the basket and, like, the new side angles.
New camera angle?
Like, new camera angles. If they didn't have that, this would not have counted. Like, they would not have been able to, like, make the call on the floor. So,
dude, good. Technology saves the day.
And that's what we've seen with a ton of sports. Like the NFL finally is implementing some stuff like that. Soccer's had it for forever. I don't know why other sports haven't. But, of course, the NBA got some there. Now, Jokic, he led Denver with 36 points, 21 rebounds, and 8 assists. The series is now tied 2-2. Game 5 set for tonight, 7 p.m. Can the Nuggets capitalize on this momentum to win the series?
They so needed this Game 4 win. I mean, I hope this brings momentum for them because they were pretty quiet in Game 3. And, I think with Jokic, they are definitely like, Western Conference Finals contenders. And I still think that the Clippers are going to pull it out and win the series, but this is really interesting to watch.
Calling it right now, it's Joker versus Batman and Robin with the Warriors. Okay, I brought up the Warriors again.
Yep, you did. I mean, that's like, what, 10th time?
The 10th time this show. It's okay. When you come on Catchin Up With Carter, you have to be a Warriors fan at this point.
I'm not.
Okay, I apologize, Gio. All right, but did the Clippers collapse in the fourth quarter? Did this expose a deeper issue going on with them? They gave up a 22-point lead in the fourth quarter. The Nuggets came back and won it right at the end. At home, too. This is not away.
Pretty bad.
This is at home.
With the wall?
Yes.
Dang, man, that's the fall.
The fall.
I'm sorry. That was dumb.
Hey, that's that.
That was a bar, bro. That was a bar.
But yeah, if I'm making the prediction, I think the Nuggets move on. I think they lose probably to OKC in like 6 or 7 games, but I think the Nuggets move on. I know you say Clippers, I say Nuggets. It's going to be close. It's probably going to Game 7 no matter what, in my opinion, at this point. Unless somehow the next 2 games are Nuggets only, I think it's just going to be trading all the way until Game 7, which I believe that one's at Intuit, or is that one in Denver?
Yeah, it's in Denver.
It's in Denver.
Pretty sure.
You're right, because it'll be Game 6. Yes.
Yeah. Nuggets got the home field advantage.
Yes, they do.
Court.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm a baseball fan.
Hey, it's all good. We're going to go into baseball here in just a second because we're done talking about basketball. It's fun talking about the NBA playoffs, but the MLB season has started and everything's been, going, having some fun. We went to a game, which wasn't fun for me, but fun for you, right? You got an Angels win. They're at the bottom of your division, though.
I think that was actually their last win since then.
Really? Is that a stat? I haven't seen anything.
I think they had one since then.
Had one since then? Okay, but at least you're not the Rockies. We're going to start off with the Colorado Rockies. They're on track to break the 2024 Chicago White Sox record for the worst season in MLB history.
How does this keep happening? Like, year after year, teams keep getting worse.
They just stink. I don't know what to say.
This is a problem.
As of now, Colorado holds a 6-24 record, projecting to finish with around 35 wins, even fewer than the White Sox 38 wins last year. Key issues for the Rockies include a league-worst offense, a terrible pitching staff, and a poor farm system offering little hope for immediate improvement. Overall, it has been a historic collapse with no clear solution in sight. Are the 2025 Rockies the worst ML team ever at this moment? Like, if they continue on this track, are they the worst ever team?
I mean, obviously, yes. But, I mean, they've been such a bad team for so long at this point. Like, I'm not really too surprised at this. But, I mean, man, like, maybe it's just a rough start, Like, we're only in April still, Like, it's just... These games don't really matter, you guys can still win a little bit more and not be the worst team ever, which was, by the way, last year.
Yeah, last year. Yeah, it's like we're just getting worse and worse. Like, what is happening?
And I mean, the White Sox aren't very far behind. They have 9 wins. Like, this is like crazy. We got 2 teams competing.
They're fighting for the toilet bowl trophy at this point. Like the worst team in the league.
And it's not even worth it because like MLB has lottery picks now. So
it doesn't even matter. There's no tanking. Like there's no worth of tanking. In every other league, it makes sense. In this league, no chance.
No, not at all.
It's wild. Should the MLB step in to make a change? Like, at this point, if they continue just on this path, is there even what should the MLB do?
Honestly, man, with like the current landscape of sports, it really just seems like owners care more about like generating money than,
But this is going to generate money. You're going to be selling tickets for $2.
Well, yeah, but the thing in MLB is they have like revenue sharing, so the owner consistently makes money every year without having to try at all. Yes, so it's a little.
So MLB needs to make a change there.
For sure,
they do need to make a change.
I'm not exactly sure what change needs to be made, but I mean
something.
It's annoying that teams like the Rockies and the White Sox can just get away with, not putting
in any money.
Yeah, or putting in the best interest of the fans first. Fans are never really like
thought about.
Yeah, with like these crappy owners like Artie Moreno, or I forget who the White Sox owner is, but he's also, trash.
These owners are just horrible. I mean, generally when you think about the lower teams in the MLB, it's because of an owner. Or because their system's just not working at this moment. So, it's tough, right? Now let's go into the other NL West teams because I want to talk about some positives. We've been on the negative side here right away with the MLB and with MLB standings. Let's go into the NL West standings.
The NL Best.
NL Best.
Okay, get it right.
You know what? Sorry, we'll say that because wearing my San Francisco Giants hat at this moment, 19-10, top of the NL West at this point. Last 10 games, 6-4 on the year. Second is the Dodgers, of course. Third, the Padres dropped down. They were in first for a while. They dropped to third at this moment, but it's so close right now. Of course, it's early in the year. You can't tell who's going to finish in first or second. And the Diamondbacks, they're in a close fourth as well, 15-13, and they're 5-5 in their last 10 games. The Dodgers, they're still the favorites to win the NL West. They most likely will be for the next 5-6 years, if we're going to be honest, because the favorites to win the World Series. I think if you put a bet on it, you're going to lose money at this point because that's just how it is.
That's pretty funny.
As well, talking about the Giants, they're a veteran team. They've really built some things around, and I've been really loving this season so far. It's been fun. There was even a walk-off homer. There was an in-the-park walk-off homer.
Inside the park home run?
Inside the park home run. It looked, what they called it like a little league home run because it was a pass to first that was way too high, and then a pass to third that was way too high. So Ramos went all the way. And
I've had a couple of those in my time in Little League.
That's how it goes in Little League
Been
baseball.
there.
Is this still the Dodgers' division to lose, or is this proving, all of these other teams there, can they compete still with the Dodgers up at top?
It's great to see the other teams competing with them, and I definitely believe that they can compete with the Dodgers. As far as who's going to win the NL West, I think that would belong to the team with the most depth, which is very clearly the Dodgers.
They have all the talent in the world.
And a lot of superstars.
They
and
do.
A lot of depth. And really good coaches. And, you can go on.
Will the Dodgers' injuries, though, catch up to them when it comes playoff time?
I mean, injuries, I feel like those are like, dice rolls. It's up to chance with those injuries. So, that definitely could play a factor.
Last question. Which team is most dangerous to the Dodgers? The Padres, D-backs, or the Giants? Which one's most dangerous? I'm wearing the hat. You can just answer by looking at my hat.
Not the Giants. I'm
What?
sorry. I think
the Padres probably, right?
the Padres have a lot of heart, but they are like slowly fading away because their old owner who, invested a lot of money into the team recently passed away a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're just like dealing with the financial consequences that, getting Xander Bogaerts and all those other big free agents come with. So I'm starting to lean towards more Giants, honestly, to be honest with you. So
Thank you for saying that.
You're right. Okay, the Giants are definitely...
The Giants, they're a veteran team. I love the veterans that we picked up. We got Verlander pitching. He's been a great pitcher for us.
That's crazy. How old is he?
Great.
50?
At this point,
80 years old?
His age, but he's so old.
No,
man.
He's like 41
He's
or something.
still, that's pretty old, though.
Yeah, and he's still kicking it.
He is still kicking
I
it.
love
He's
JV.
doing good. He's doing great. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, this is early, but the Dodgers are still the team to be messed with, and the Giants are up there.
Yeah,
of
they're
course,
looking
and,
good.
and I love them. So
And they look good on Sunday too when they got walked out by the Angels. Woo.
You know what? We're just gonna leave it quiet here for a second. I'm just joking.
All right, bro. I mean,
no, that was not a fun game at all for me. Okay,
dude, it was. You guys were winning the whole game,
and then you laughed in my face in the bottom of the ninth.
Well, I mean, how could I not, bro?
Of course, of course. Hey, that's how it is with baseball. It's always fun. Now I want to go to a funny kind of news story. The Dodgers installed Japanese toilets to help sign Rocky Sasaki.
You mean bidets?
Yes.
Dude, hold on. Let me tell you, okay? A bidet is probably the greatest personal investment you can make.
I have not bought one. Should I buy one?
Dude, yes, bro.
Okay.
Because it's so comfortable and like you take less wipes. You're saving the trees. I'm sorry, I got a little too detailed, okay? But
you know what?
You guys just got to get put on.
Bidets are good. I might invest into one.
Use one.
Okay. Dodgers president Stan Kasten revealed that during their first meeting with him, Sasaki joked about wanting Japanese-style toilets in their clubhouse. As part of an $100 million renovation, the Dodgers actually installed them. So they put them into the clubhouse with the entire team. And he also said it was definitely a factor in his decision.
That's actually crazy. This is a great lesson for teams who, want to sign players. You should listen to them and give them what they want. I don't ask me how, but I've been in the Angel Stadium bathrooms, like the clubhouse bathrooms.
Really?
Yeah, I used one.
That's cool.
And they are terrible. Like
they're bad?
They look terrible. They are not well kept. It's old, okay? I don't see and like the Dodgers investing in their bathrooms, it's a small thing, but I feel like
it's a big thing too.
It could go a long way.
There was also I always think about this every time I think about like amenities for a team. I don't know if you ever watched the show Ted Lasso, but immediately when Ted Lasso shows up at the team, he asks them what can be changed in the clubhouse or in like their room, and it was the water pressure, and immediately he got it fixed and it changed the whole team morale.
Yeah.
Like I know that that's a show, but it is a thing, right? Like when a team has good facilities, it does affect performance. And if they have facilities that, they've got multiple Japanese players on this team, why not?
Yeah. And I mean, hopefully, this brings more bidets to America and it's more normalized.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to buy a bidet now just because of this show.
Dude, radio listeners, definitely buy bidets, okay? You'll be happy. You'll be like Baye, you know what I mean?
No, I don't. What do you mean by that? I'm sorry.
Like I just said yay, Baye, bidet. I'm just trying to rhyme, okay?
Okay, my apologies.
It's a lyrical miracle.
The rapper over here. All right, let's jump over to the Yankees. Aaron Judge is carrying the Yankees without Juan Soto. Aaron Judge is off to a historic start in the 2025 season, making sure the New York Yankees remain dominant even after Juan Soto's departure to the Mets. Judge is currently leading the majors with a .406 batting average and has reached base in 24 straight games.
God, he's good.
He recently broke a 9-game home run drought, helping power the Yankees offense. In a recent doubleheader sweep against the Toronto Blue Jays, Judge was a major force, continuing his stretch of consistent power and contact hitting. Thanks largely to him, the Yankees now lead MLB in runs scored and home runs. Is Judge putting together the best start to a season in Yankees history?
The Yankees have had a lot of great players, man. It's going to be difficult.
It's a start, though. Like, is this the best start? Obviously,
it's a really good start, man. I mean, in his last 162 games, aka a full season in MLB, he's had a .347 average. Here it says, with 61 home runs and 137 runs scored.
Insane.
I mean, his output is just something that we've never seen before since Willie Mays or Babe Ruth.
Okay.
The guy is just crazy.
Are the Yankees actually better without Juan Soto?
No.
Why not?
Juan Soto is just like a cheat code. He's like a playoff legend, I think he helped.
You don't think? Look at Aaron Judge, though, with the team. It's letting him thrive even more.
Okay, but did you not see him make that outfield error in the World Series? In Game 6? I don't know. I just feel like Juan Soto is that playoff difference maker, And
you're right on that. You are correct.
But even though they might not be a better team wins-wise, or they might be a better team wins-wise without Juan Soto and the team they have now.
Yeah.
But without him in the playoffs, I definitely think that's, going to hurt them more.
I've got one more question.
Yeah.
Here. Is Aaron Judge the most important player to his team in all of baseball right now? Like individual, like the most valuable for his individual team?
You know, I think that title probably would go to Shohei Ohtani just based on money.
No,
you know?
I'm not talking about money. No, we're talking about how he's playing. Is Aaron Judge the most, because I'm going to just say it, yes, he is. He is the most important player to the Yankees and their success. They would not be having the success if it wasn't for him right now.
Yeah, I mean, these stats are just wild. I can't really disagree with you there, to be honest. But
stats are crazy.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge, wild player, amazing player. Of course, we can talk about Shohei Ohtani more, but that's all the time we have here on Catching Up with Carter. Giovanni Daniels here in the studio with me today. Thank you for joining me here.
Thank you for having me.
We talked about all of the NFL news, some NFL draft, some NBA playoffs, and then, of course, the MLB, just news in general. Now, Gio, do you have some final words for the listeners?
Nah, man, enjoy these next 2 tracks.
Enjoy the next 2 tracks. What do we have up? You want to announce the music we have?
Pretty
next?
sure we got Lil Uzi Vert's EXO Tour Life.
Yes, we do.
A classic. Hopefully he recovers from whatever he's got. He's in the hospital right now.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah, so this one's going out to him.
Going out to him.
After that, we got Stop Trying to Be God by Travis Scott, a classic. But yeah.
We'll have some fun music. Make sure to check out every single Tuesday, Catching Up with Carter. We always have different guests on the show. Next week, it will be Monday. We'll have our live show. It will be at 7 p.m., so a showtime change. We had the show on Tuesdays during the whole semester from 4 to 5. We're going to change it up just here for the last few weeks, have it on Monday to get some more different guests in the show. Thank you so much again for checking in to Catching Up with Carter here on Saddleback College Radio, 88.5 HD2. My name is Carter Kirchhevel, and I hope to see you next time.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.